Day 2 of Gamescom is upon us, and we will get into everything from EA to Age of Empires to Shenmue 3. We'll get into it in the breakdown. What's going on, people? It's your boy DaRealMastalin, and welcome to your daily dose. And as always, before we get started, I need y'all to do those 3 simple things for me. First one, drive that forklift directly into that like button. Subscribe here for more. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time I drop a video. Now let's break it down. So like I said yesterday, we are on Gamescom week, so I'll break down all the news that comes out of Gamescom slowly as it trickles out. And yesterday, EA had a little conference, which wasn't that much better than Microsoft's. I guess it was about on par. Like, they came out, they showed Need for Speed. They didn't really show any gameplay. They showed like a extended cutscene within Need for Speed, which looked dope, but that didn't show me how the game itself was gonna play. They showed some more Battlefield 1 stuff, including the new rollout for how they're gonna do the extensions. They'll have a new expansion pass in December, I'm sorry. And that'll be the next set of maps. In the Name of the Czar comes out next month, and then December will be the next set, and then sometime in early spring, they just said early 2018. They didn't really say what roadmap. They also announced the Revolution Edition Battlefield 1, which is basically all the map packs, just cheaper, I guess is the best way to put it. It's like a Game of the Year edition, but they call it the Revolution Edition, as well as some overhauls to the UI and stuff. And you can play the first In the Name of the Czar map for free right now if you're playing Battlefield 1. They went on to announce some Star Wars Battlefront stuff, so they just showed off space battles, which look cool, but the problem is that still doesn't solve the problem that everybody was having, which was we weren't just asking for space battles, we were asking for transitions. So in the old Star Wars Battlefronts, you could basically go from being on a destroyer, on foot, having a fight, to in a Y-Wing or X-Wing or whatever, then into a space battle. You could fly from that space battle to a planet and go right into another fight on that planet. That is what everyone is looking for. Everyone's looking for the transitions. The space battles are cool, but they're not much different from the air superiority battles you had in Battlefront 1, except for you have more hero ships, which is cool, I guess. Like, and it looks like they had a lot of objectives. So you go and you fly in somewhere, you destroy like the shield generator, then you try to take down the ship. So the air superiority fights are more objective based, which is cool. That adds to the gameplay, but it's not what everyone was asking for. So I really want them to push and do what everyone really asked for. I hope they do it, even if they do it down the line, because even air superiority, that wasn't in Battlefield or Battlefront 1 at launch. So they have the opportunity to add that to Battlefront later on down the line. So I hope that it's either there at launch, or at the very, very least that someone is trying to get it to work. Someone is trying to make sure that we all get the Battlefront that we have been asking for. I'm excited for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm a Star Wars fan, so it excites me. And I liked the first game. It just lacked content, and as time went on, they added it, but at the beginning it just didn't have everything it needed to have to be a successful game. It played well, but other than that, it was just devoid of so many things it needed just to be a good Battlefront game. And I really hope that this one lives up to the hype, because the single player looks to be on point from what I've seen, and the multiplayer looks like it's coming into fruition, along with all the little nuances that come with. But I'll just hold my reservations until I get the actual product in my hand. And that's pretty much what EA did. Like, that was about what they did as a whole. There was nothing like too crazy. EA's was okay. They did a lot of posturing and patting themselves on the back, and then they showed like a full Battlefield 1 game at the end, which was weird and time consuming, but I guess they just had to fill up the time. As far as anything else that got announced yesterday, Microsoft had a, I guess, conference or a presentation of Age of Empires. And the craziest part is the Age of Empires presentation or reveal or whatever you want to call it, that was more exciting than the entire thing they had the day before. Then their little conference that I talked about yesterday, and the video is up here in this card. You go watch that. But even that Age of Empires reveal was even better than that. Like, it was more exciting. They were more into it. It seemed like they were more excited about that than they were about everything they talked about the day before, including the pre-orders for the Xbox One X, which I just didn't get. Like, they announced Age of Empires 4. They also announced that Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3 are getting basically re-releases or upgrades and re-releases. Everybody went crazy and all that stuff, except for the fact that it's only on PC. I play on PC, so I don't have a problem with that per se, except for the fact that you're releasing the Xbox One X, and for some reason you announce a new game but only put it on PC, even though every game that you're releasing on Xbox One is also on PC. Like, you see where there's a problem, at least with the Xbox people. Like, that seems like a big issue. You're releasing a game that's only on PC, even though every game that you put on Xbox is also on PC. To the Xbox people, and that seems like a slap in the face. I know it's a little, off-putting, but it just seems like, again, a missed opportunity. And I don't know what Microsoft is thinking or their thought process, because I've come to the point that there's no point trying to even like get it in my head that they have a plan, because every time I try to think of it, I just get a headache. So I've gone past that point. But Age of Empires is cool. I'm an RTS guy. I like these type of games. They're up my alley. I like to scratch that itch every so often, but I don't know where Xbox is at. Like, I don't know where their head is at. But it's cool that they're getting remasters. 1, 2, and 3 are getting remasters, and it's even dope that the 4 is getting an announcement. I'm in the alpha for one of them. I'm not gonna really talk too in detail about it, but I dig it. I just don't understand why it's not coming to Xbox. And lastly, they announced, well, they didn't really announce, they showed a trailer for Shenmue 3. And how can I put this? It looks like it was made right after 2. Like, it looks like it was made directly after 2. Facial animations, maybe it's an Unreal thing, but the facial animations don't look great. The world looks alright, but it's just a better color contrast and smoother edges. But I don't know, the game looks aged. And I understand that it's supposed to be a successor and all that, but it looks dated, and I don't know how I feel about that. I backed it as soon as it was available, so I'm gonna get the game regardless. I already paid for it, but it just looks like it's out of date and out of touch with the now. Like, they didn't use any new techniques in order to render these things. The people who were working on it are the original team, and I feel like they're still using those original display parameters. Like, they're still stuck in that mode because that's what they're used to, or that's where they were. Like, they went back to the original code and then just tried to put lipstick on it. And it's crazy to think that this game was supposed to be out at the end of this year. I don't see it coming out anytime before 2020. Like, there was barely any gameplay in it, and like I said, the facial animations and stuff look rough. So I don't see this coming out for at least 2 years. I'm still gonna play it. Like I said, I already own it, so it's irrelevant. I played Mighty Number 9, and that was hot trash, and it was because I backed it. So I'm still gonna get this game, still gonna play it. I just really hope that over the next year or so, they upgrade rather than just coast. But we'll see. I'll leave a link in the description so you can watch the full trailer and you can judge for yourself. Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just looking at it through some eyes that are very discerning, I guess. But like I said, I'll leave a link in the description. You can let me know what y'all think. So that's all the news I got for today. Be back tomorrow for day 3 of Gamescom, and I'll go through all the announcements that they've given throughout the day. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Hit me up on Twitter at DaRealMastalin or mixer.com/DaRealMastalin. Come through the stream, talk ish, play some games. It's been your boy Mastalin, always giving you the real. I love y'all like some play cousins, and I'm out.